Well, hey friends, it's Good Friday, and it's a good reminder. I was watching on TikTok and even on YouTube earlier, and there was a content creator who was talking about the word tetelestai, which is in the book of John, where Jesus says, "It is finished," and that's the word that is translated that way in Greek. And they were saying, this word means, back in the day, it was originally used in the first century. It was about receipts that were paid on something, or it was about this legal term, and there's all these different words. And likely what this content creator is doing is they have a certain theology about what the atonement is, and they're reading all of that back into this word. And what they've done is now they've taken the lexicon and they've gone down every single term, every single way that this word can be used in the lexicon, and drawing from it, mashing it all together and saying, look at all these different things that this means, which is a big no-no. You don't do that. Instead of eisegetically reading our theologies into these words, what we need to be doing rather is exegetically reading them in the context they're in and pulling it out and going, okay, what did the author likely mean by using this? By putting this word on Jesus's lips, what did the author of John really want to communicate here? Not what are all the different theological ways that we could read this and read into this kind of a thing. And so what that tells me is a couple things. Number one, it tells me that this original content creator has just enough Greek to be dangerous, but not enough to know what they're really doing. And the second thing that it tells me is that they probably they majored probably in theology and not in biblical studies. And they're really looking for what preaches versus what's there. And so let me give a little help and assist to this. The Greek word tetelestai is a perfect middle passive indicative verb, and it comes from the Greek word teleo, which means to complete, to finish something. And likely what John is doing here, putting this on the lips of Jesus, in the context that it's in, Jesus is suffering on the cross, and he says right after that, "It is finished." Then he says he gave up the ghost and he died. He's probably saying the suffering is finished. This is over. It's done. It is finished. If we want to draw any other meaning out of it, it could be that Jesus is saying my mission is complete. What I came here to do, I did. And that's it. We cannot draw all these. We can't go to the lexicon and go, well, it could have meant this. It could have meant this. It could have meant this. Let's mush it all together and make it mean all of these things. We have to look at the context it's being written in and saying, what's the most likely thing that is coming from this, from the author? Hope that helps.